This year is entitled Taamai Hamitzvoth Part 2, discussed in the first year, that it's very important when a person looks into reasons, philosophy behind the mitzvah, that he knows he's in a separate world of knowledge. There's a world of knowledge of Talmudic study where a person is analyzing the what, how the system of halacha works, and then Taamai Hamitzvoth is the why. There's nothing wrong with being in that world, that discipline, but it has to be clear that you're speculating. It's not as grounded as halachic analysis, and it doesn't affect the halachic analysis. Why God gave the mitzvah and how we're supposed to be observing the mitzvah are two separate disciplines. I just add on a few more points. The Rambam makes it very clear in the Monavuchim that mitzvah is something that we can look into and try to make sense of the reason behind it. And he spends time doing that, chapters in the Monavuchim. Mishnah Torah, he doesn't give that Taamai mitzvahs, but once in a while he does at the end of a sefer. He might elaborate about the mitzvah, or Rosh Hashanah Shofar, he does talk about the mitzvah as well. The Rav in Halachic Bain, page 95, contrasts the Rambam's Taamai mitzvah in the Mishnah Torah versus Taamai mitzvah in the Guide to the Perplexed. Well, in the Guide to the Perplexed, he's trying to explain why God gave me this mitzvah, why gave me that one. In the Sefer, in the Mishnah Torah, he's trying to explain how am I benefiting from this experience of the shofar, and how I'm benefiting from that mitzvah, as opposed to why God gave this. So the Rav sort of separates between Maimonides' reason behind the mitzvah and Mishnah Torah, Rambam's ideas of the mitzvah, which are more just the spiritual effect on the person, how he grows through the different mitzvah, not necessarily why God gave this. And the Rav leans more towards the approach mentioned in the Mishnah Torah. Another fascinating discussion is according to the Rambam, the guide. Yes, we could give reasons behind the mitzvah and make our best attempt, but there's certain details we just cannot. Why it's this 4, not 5. Why you need to have this size, this amount of kemach 2, not 2.5. Then if it was 2.5, it asks why not 2. So the Rambam says you just cannot get that far into the details. You're limited how far you go with Taamai Hamitzvoth. A Bar Benel actually holds you could go a little bit further, and he's bold in that way. He's saying that you could go into Taamai Hamitzvoth even more than the Rambam would allow. Lamaisa, of course, we just summarized that Taamai Hamitzvoth, if it helps a person get closer, to be more mechubar to the mitzvah, more mechubar, more connected to Hashem. And if he goes ahead and he could grow from the Taamai mitzvah, it's very, very important. But it's always just important to know two separate worlds. There's a Talmud with the philosophy behind mitzvahs. Then there's halachic observance of the mitzvah, which is all the understanding and depth, the conceptual depth of the mitzvah. And it's always healthy that a person could go and soar with his explanations to understand the ideas behind the mitzvah and get closer to Hashem, etc. But as long as he knows that the two disciplines are really two separate disciplines, and he can apply Chachma Bina Das to the discipline of the how and the what, and then he can go ahead and have the same approach to the why behind the mitzvot. Shalom.